Okay, you can see my screen right now, right?
Yeah,
Yes, we can see.
Yes.
Okay. So we were doing the first row of the left column, and let's continue with it. So first of all, as you can see, we have some welcome part. I'm not gonna spend that much time on the CSS rules like coloring and background. I will be focused mostly on the alignment. So which box should be where. In that sense, let me create three divs. Okay. No. So in first div we have welcome, and in the second div we have kind of one symbol and PayPal members login button. By the way, for this login button and this symbol, you don't have to worry about to make all of them like typically identical. You can use, for example, this login button is it has some weird styling, but you can use a normal button as well. So it's not mandatory. For example, for the symbol, you can find probably this is right arrow symbol. There should be something like that. Yes, you can use this, for example. Copy, probably I can paste it. Yeah, and then if you wanna make it the same color, you can put it in span, and then you can type CSS rule for that to make it in the same color of what we have here. So here we can say PayPal members, and then as you can see there is a new row for login button. At this point you have many options, but I will show you a couple of them. I will show in each different way. I will try to make it like that so you can learn all the ways. So first way is to make these things in a list, okay, and then another list which is button, and then button will be log in. Okay, let's see what is waiting for us. Okay, we have something like that, which is not of course good enough, but we have something else. Why this one is, check. This part is somehow underneath. Let's see if I make this still same. And well, in this case, we can make something like that probably. No, that's alright. Top or see second. Oops. We have something wrong here. I don't know. I would try to change this. Okay, we didn't have for the container a rule, right? I'll try to make it display flex. In this case, we have it as we wanted, but I'm wondering what's wrong with this. Okay, I'll just do this because of this part. Okay, so probably because of divs that we used, I guess. Let me just okay, not this. You can okay, this welcome this problem. I will make it p tag. P tag. It's still same. Check. Okay, for now I will use flex to not spend on time on that, but next I will also share with you guys the solution for this because it's not what. Let me just. We are missing something here. Okay, so this should be not here in container. So for now I will use flex, but also I will check the problem here later on and share with you guys solution.
Yes, it will be really good. Oh, sorry, I'm cutting because I have a trouble for 2 days with this problem because I see only display inline blocks. Yes.
Okay, then
I have the same problem.
Okay, then let's try to solve it here.
No problem. It can be later. We can go on and because it will be it takes a time. It cannot be now.
Okay, let me just then try some simple stuff.
Yeah, make a container display flex.
Sorry?
Container class container style sheets display flex.
Yeah, it fixes, but I want to make it with
it is and delete columns display in block and container display flex is solution. It is solved.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Yeah, container display flex.
Yeah.
Yeah, columns delete display.
Yeah, this solves the problem. I know, but we want to make it with inline block, so to see to fix the problem here. Let's spend like 5 minutes here. If it doesn't work, then we can go on with the
next
we
one. Can go on. Then. Yeah.
So we can write the things here first of all. As you can see, when I make this the second one a bit okay. Column, main column. Do we have here display inline block? Nope. Yes. It's probably one simple thing, but yeah.
No problem. We can go on with the flex, I think.
Okay, let's do it.
Yes, when you find solution, you can send us the file.
Yeah.
And may I ask you, how are you getting the lines in the HTML5 comments? What's the shortcut of this in Visual Studio Code?
Sorry, how we get what?
HTML tags, lines in a comment line. What's the shortcut?
Oh,
yes.
Well, it's Control/ in my Twitter, but you can also find it. Yes, toggle line comment.
Toggle line comment. Okay, thank you.
Welcome. So you can change it. For now, let's stick with the flex. Then we can have the other one later on. Yes. And then for flex, to make everything on the centralized, you can use like a margin or something like that, but also there is something called, even if you just search flex center, it should be, there will be a solution, as you can see. Align items center. Okay, so I think this is one of them is not necessary. Then this is not necessary because one is for horizontal, other is for vertical. So you can make one. So right now we have this. Let's focus on that part again. I will send you the solution for the other one. So we have here, as you can see, login button. By the way, why this background? I will delete this old rule. So we have also new user, but as you can see, we have some dots before lists. We don't want this. For this, I think list style, and then if you choose none, then you will get rid of this. Also, another rule is, let me first get this, or can write the same code like that. Another point is, unordered lists always, basically lists always has margin. I think 40 pixel or something like that. So we need to, it's also default thing. You can see padding, sorry, not margin, padding of 40%. You should override that one also by typing padding 0. And then we have the we get rid of the unnecessary space. So here, by the way, it is not also mandatory to put these things like completely same in a separate lane, but if you wanted to do it, then you can put PR tag or something like that. Okay, and then if you want to put space here, I think as this code is in HTML means like a white space, so 3 of them, then you will get the same look basically. And we can make, by the way, this one less wider, but of course we can do it later on. So if I get rid of this, you see we have something like that, but we have in our box some background, right? So let's give to our first left row some background. And how can I get this background? In my case, in Google Chrome, there is a color picker extension. You can use that extension, but of course not here. Here you can use, since it was picture, you can take the color easily. And here, background color is, so we should have something like that. By the way, I will delete this rule because it's now making everything harder. And for the other part, the second, you can do also the same. I think it was something else. New user, right? So you can say new user, and then instead of login, sign up. And we need some more height, so I will make it a bit more. Maybe let's check if they have, no, if they don't have padding here at the top, so we can also remove that padding if we have, I don't know. Yeah, as you can see, P tag also has a default margins, so I will make it not P but span. Where is it? Yeah, it was div actually at first, but okay, something like that. And then also actually we can make this div because we will need to give it some extra background color. Color was gray, I think, something like that. And then let's make this also. I can call this. We can write actually inline style here also. It's not good practice, but we can do. Let's use it to show. And we will have padding, say 5 pixel. Okay, so the color is different, but we will have we have now the almost less more same looking. And new user is not, wait, think, yes, so not be also. So right now we have the first stuff, but if you want to have this exact, for example, class, PayPal has a different view for now. So it's really hard. But what did I do is, at the time that I got this assignment, I went to the archive.org, and it's really slow. And then URL is paypal.com, and then it has Wayback Machine, which brings you to the old versions of the web page. So then you can copy the CSS file of this button from there with inspector, and then you can paste it. But for now, I will skip this part because it's really slow. And we have a second row here, which is longer. So we have less more the same thing. That's why I will copy this part and paste it here. Okay. And then of course we'll delete all this thing. Probably we will need only one list will be enough. And instead of welcome, it is news. And then more but more is with enter tag. So I will nothing here and say more. So by the way, since our column is wider, we have look we can make this just a second, we can make this okay. 50. Yes, now it's more identical, and then use more. For this, as I said, you can I think my background color is a bit okay. Let's just a second. This should be light gray. Let's make it light gray. So yeah, now it's better. So in this step, we have 3 quotes from news, and for that, I think this here the most let's say difficult part is to align one text to left and the other is right. It was, at least for me, that was the time. That was the part that I spent most of my time. But let's go on. So we will now I want to show you something else. So we have some kind of logic or approach to the CSS, which is you define your CSS rule for one class. For example, we need an this CSS rule, this one, not this one, this CSS list style non CSS rule for more than one item, right? What we can do here is to create one CSS rule. We can call it like whatever we want, but let's say list non, okay, and then I will get this rule and copy here. Of course, now this will have, but I will, whenever I need this rule, I will add to UL this class, okay? So as you may already know, one item can have more than one class, one element. So as you can see now, we have solved our problem. But this also, whenever I need this CSS rule, I will just go and write list none. It's like defining, for example, a color. For example, you can create a one style called like my gray color, or some maybe the other case, and then you can type here. Oh, sorry. You can type here background color, maybe more darker. Okay, then instead of writing for each element the same one, I can basically here class my background color, of course, without dots. And then if I remove this, I can use the same here. And then I can remove from this style. So did you understand the logic behind this? It's pretty simple. You create class names for specific rules, specific CSS rules, like a color, or like a, for example, let's say we want to make text aligned to the left always. Instead of writing this rule all the time for each element, we can create a CSS rule called text right or text left, and then in index we will write just text left or text right. Okay, that's simple. By the way, I can't see the chat now. Yeah, okay, now I see. So let's go on and start with this. As you can see here, we have lists again, but we can use here a div, different divs also, as well, like another div inside div, div inside div. Maybe let's try this first. For this part, well, first let's give a background color again. But what was the background color? My gray color? No, it was for the headers, for this part. So we can create maybe one for these parts as well. And I will do that by, where is, or for them we can, was it this one? No, this one. Since we have left row already, second left row. For this, you know the normal way, but I will do it this way. So we have one enter tag, and then underneath one text. Okay, simple text. Okay, let's go here, and we have our enter tag, and the text is, well, this is also lorem ipsum stuff, and Visual Studio Code, probably maybe you have in Atom as well. It gives you a bunch of text when you need. So you have now text, maybe one word less. Yes, as you can see, they have padding here, so we may add also some padding and to our document. Let's go and say we have it already here. Okay, so we have our padding, and also after the H1 they have some padding. I'm not gonna do it, some margin, sorry, but you can, wait, I can show you how. You know margin bottom already, probably 5 pixel, then you will have it. Let's write it under H1. So for that also I will use inline. Okay, so we have our text, and there should be, and let's put it in brackets, and underneath we have US today. We can put it in span. There is also some, okay, one dash before it. Here we have our text. We can do, probably it's not gonna work, but let's try it. Text align right or float right. Float right worked, but float is not recommended CSS rule for in the modern websites, let's say, but still you can use it. But also the other thing could be like writing, instead of span, div and then text align, but this also solves the problem. So we have this, and we will have this a couple of times, 3 times, and for each, let's say let's give them some class name. As you can see now, I am using my shortcuts. So class, to give all of them same class name together. I will say quote. Okay. And then each quote should have some. By the way, to keep this thing more understandable, organized, you should also kind of put the things in order. For example, now I am in first left row, or now I am in second left row, sorry. All the things related to first left row should be here, and if it's not related, this is related, but this is related also to the others, so I can put it somewhere else. But for you to understand, it's not mandatory, but for you to understand and track later on easily, it's better to do something like that. And this is under this. Also, even I can write something like that. So inside, select a second left row, find the quote, and then I think we are going to give a margin like 5 pixel and 0. Yes. Then okay, we forgot to put our floats right. I can choose it by also the same way. Instead of giving it a class name, for now I will make it like that. It means it's more faster. So inside the second left row, find all spans and say float, not left but right. So I think that's it. We can, by the way, make this a bit less, we forgot to put they're still not looking like what we have in the picture, so I will make this margin a bit more. No, not quote, sorry. Now I see the problem. The quote is only for text, so we need to give it a style for this part, not only this part, but our thing is our CSS rule is now only applicable for the text. So do we have one div that contains these all things? Of course, yes, we have this div with all things. I will also give a class name for this div. Okay, alt, and I will choose the same. This should be actually class quote, not this one. It was my bad. So this I will delete. So right now we should have it, and yes, each quote has not like that. Oh no, sorry, something. I think that's more good. So I will make it 25. Since our texts are same, it's not going to look like that, of course, but we can work on that later on. So for the next part, we have here a button, sorry, image, and then one again enter tag without background color. For this also, by the way, do you have any questions so far? You can interrupt me if you have any questions anytime. Do you have any questions? No? Okay. Then I think someone's to talk. No. Okay. Then last one, for the last one, we don't have background color, so I can delete the background color of columns, at least for the, well, let's do it later on. But this will be white in the end. Don't worry about this. We can make this a bit something like that, maybe. Oh. Yeah, it's now better. We can go to the same, but these are almost same. If you want, I can go to the top part. So you can copy and paste and do the same here. Only thing is, yeah, maybe, sorry, here, no, there is some difference. You need to put two things together. Okay, let's do that one also. Then I will move to the top part, because this is also important. For this, I think we have images here in zip file. Yes, if we download that zip file and open, if I choose the pathways, that's one, I think, and let's put them in images folder. So we have images, okay, and you can see what we have now. So what we need is currently this one at the top, logo 2, and cards. So let's go on. The first one is, I will create, since we have here 3 different rows, I will create 3 divs again. Okay, div 3, and then let's start with the first one. For the first one, we have one image and one anchor tag. So you can basically, for image, type this, and then you can find images. You already remember this one probably, and images, and then it was logo 2, I guess. Just sorry. And you can type this one also, but this is probably you know what is it standing for. Alt is when the image is not found in your computer, then the browser shows this text basically. We have now image probably, yes, and the second part is enter tag. Since image has no block property, display block defaultly, you will, I think it's enough for us to write, what was the thing, relief donation, without any CSS code. It should work, but yes, we have some problems. So for this, we can use again flex. Let's try it out. And then display flex. Then also flex works, as you can see, but also I want to do it in a different way. If I can do. Okay. Then this, we have the same problem again. Let's put this here, and probably if I make it only leaf, it will be there. So okay, so I know what's the problem. First, maybe we can give this vertical align middle or top, and relief donations, right? Okay, so here we go. We have a problem with this part. We can use it. We can use Flex easily for that, but currently, what we can do is just let me think. Break. And yes, this is this is like kind of trick. It's not the ideal way, but also vertical top. So something like that would solve the problem. But also what you can do is to give this, we have a div here, right? You can say this like height is pixel with max height, and then even if you don't have, well, let's just do this on the code as well. One. So and do this one. So then let's make it okay. And then there is a rule for putting items. For example, we have two different elements, right? So for now, if we write like how to align two elements in HTML or something like that, on the same line without changing blah blah blah, and display inline block is what the example has. Then if 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 the width is less than what you want, then you have a problem, of course. This is also what we did. So for this, since I am using always this is gonna solve the problem probably, but since I'm using always Flex, so I also kind of forget about old-fashioned stuff. This is our div, right? Okay. So this is what you can do at most. White space no wrap is to prevent text to go to the next line. This is the thing that we needed. But Also, this is not the good way to do this, to be honest. I would do it with Flex, and it's way easier and modern. But this is what you can do with also PR. Maybe. Yeah. So let me. Did we write it somewhere? So with BR it's working already, but if you still want to keep two things in the same line, you need to write I think it was white space, yeah, white space, no wrap. So don't go to the next line. Then you have this, but it's not wise. So in any case, you need to use flex property. And then the next one is one picture. So this one also another picture. I think we don't have to focus on that part. I will go to the up. Probably you had some problems with this things. By the way, for these things, I think also float should be not put right solution, I guess. Without this. Okay, so inline block and float left, float right. No way, because since this text is a bit longer to the sorry? Sorry?
Alo.
Yes?
Hello. Hello.
You hear me? Okay. Do you hear me, by the way? I'm talking, but guys?
Hello, and we are hearing you.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Then let's move on to the top. So before all these divs, all the columns, we will have inside container on top of this part another layer, which is header. So we can, what we can do is, let me check the container. Okay, then the container is not, we cannot type this in container because container is already flex. So I will make this instead of container, or okay, I think it's okay. We can have header or head element, and inside this element we will have our header. Currently there is nothing, but let's start giving it some. First of all, header is at the top, so I will do it here. So let's give a background first, and let's make it blue, and then width of header should be like 100%. Okay. So, and also height should be 6 pixel. Okay, now we have it, but as you can see we have some I don't know why, but we have kind of yeah, what VSC initial. Okay, so this is big from my extension. Just ignore this part, but normally this, do we have any rule for body? Nope, we don't have. But since this is because of probably the extension that we use, as far as I understand, we can actually just open in the Explorer and we can try to open it with normal thing. We have still this rule, which is, I don't know why, but anyways, let's override this body. Now body has some margins, and let's make it so this here margin 0. This should fix our problem. Okay, and let's take a look at the picture. We have, as you can see, we have some this line here. We can make it with a div, another div, but we can use border property. So I can say in header like border bottom, and I think it's like 10 pixel, and then it was blue, but not that blue, of course, solid. So we should have it now. And by the way, I should restart this because it's not working anymore. Okay, now it's again connected. So as you can see, we have it, but the color is different, of course. What I'm gonna do is not this, not here, sorry. I will just get this and put here the color dash, and then we have the same color, but apparently it's more than 10. I think this is enough, or it's too much. So we have it, as you can see, but this also a bit too much. Let's make it 50. Okay, now we have almost the same look. Let's remove the background color. So we have now what we need. What we can do here also is to create another div in this div, and then align it into the center, and then inside this div create another 2 divs, and then float one to the left, the other to the right. Inside right again one. I think this is, you don't even need to do something here. It's since there are anchor tags, you can write and they will be like one by one. So let's do it. In header, first we will create a div, just header or container. I will call it like that. You can go whatever you want, and then this will have the same width of the main container. So I will say, and then this that. Oh, sorry, wait, is like that. Then I will give it some background color to see. No, not this color. That. I think the color is not really low enough. So let's make it something like that. Sorry. Need something like that, probably. And then now we have here, but it's not the place that we wanted. 100. Sorry, I think I did calculate wrong. So here we have 400 pixels. Then here we have again 150. So it should be 550, something like that. Okay, now let's align it to the center. So here I will say text align center, or here you will say margin auto, so it will be aligned center, will automatically make itself at the center position. We can delete this, by the way. This is the rule. When you define width and height, then you need to use margin auto to make something in the center. Otherwise, it's the text align is not gonna work. So in this part, we have a logo, only logo first. I will create two divs here. First one is only logo and images logo. Let's take a look. How does it look? Okay, but let's make background also. Okay, we need to center it, or yeah, this, as you can see, this div is head container. First of all, we should give head container a display flex to make them in the same line, or we can use float. So what I will try first, float way, head container, inside head container, let's make this class name logo, and this is okay, menu, let's call it menu. And logo and menu, I will create one float right, or it's unnecessary since we were going to use it only once. So I will say here logo, and then float left, and then menu float right. Okay, so but we don't have anything in the second div, so let's type here something to see if it works. As you can see, it's working fine. So we have our logo here and the other things here, but we need to align these things a bit in the center. I'm not sure if we can do vertical align or bottom. Well, the thing is, we can add some maybe padding, and then it will be aligned well. So I will add this rule also to our logo, and then our menu. So now everything is centralized. Here, as I said, you will have 3 buttons: sign up, login, help. Not button, but 3 anchor tags, 3, and they all will have the same empty for now. Ref sign, I think it was something like that. Sign up, yeah, login, help. Sign up again, empty, again, the help. Check, yes. So we have them, but in the, as you can see, we have some these line breaks or something like that between them. So I put them as well. It's really easy for anchor tags, but I can go and say in style the anchor tag of menu should have some padding, not from top and bottom, but left and right. So I say 5 pixel. As you can see, we have the look right now. So that's it for that part. What else we can do, I don't know, but yeah, you can see here this is not well aligned. We can maybe, I'm not sure, vertical align center or gonna work. Nope. Then again we will need to add some extra margin top. 5 pixel is enough, I guess. So this is also for menu, and let's open menu, margin top. So now we have the complete look. These parts you can do, I think. For this part, well, again, we have one big div, and we have now, I think, 20 minutes, less more. Do you have any questions so far? You want me to focus on something specifically, or should I continue? Anyone?
You can continue.
Okay, but you don't have any questions so far?
So far, so good.
Okay, then let's continue. So here we will have 2 divs, as far as I can see. Well, you can create more than 2, but in my point of view, we have one here. There is one block. There is one block here till that part, and the second block is for these things. Okay, let's do it. I think if we do the first part, then the second part is still should be easy. Let's create in, yes, we will go into the main column. Okay, I will create 2, and I will add main column, but not main column. This will be the first, oh sorry, main row, but this will be the first main row, and then second main row. So, and here what we have is one H4, let's say. I think this is a kind of H4. Let's take a look. Okay, the color should be same. And what else we can do is, you can see here there is a lot of space between them, so we should have we should put some margin to the main row. Where is main row? Main column, sorry. So I will get this and put here. By the way, you can, this is also a good idea to put something, comment here and say main row start, something like that, so you know where to look when you have a problem, and you can search basically main row and then find it. I will add some padding, 15. I think looks good. This one, from now on. The color is easy, so you can do it, but I noticed that there is a lot of space here, but in the picture this starts with in the same line with welcome. So let's take a look. What's the problem? The problem is we have padding to all edges, so it should be only for the right and left. Let me find it and make this. This will make what we want, and this is H4. For H4, as you can see, there is default styles, which is margin. No, sorry. Yeah, margin. We will just override it. So if I say here margin 0, you can see it starts with at the same location. Since we have now this pink background, it looks weird, but when we remove it, they will be on the same line and well positioned. Okay. So I will go and open this H4, and normally you should create a style for this, but I will do for now to make it faster. Here, margin, let's give like 0.2 pixel, because now they are in the they should be in the same row with welcome, and welcome have 5 pixels. Sorry, let's make it 5, so then they can be the same line. Sorry, it should be 0 to 5, like that. Okay, now we have everything on the same line. The only missing thing is color. You can take a look at that one. Here we have another div block, but inside this block you can see one here and one here. We have 2 columns. So 1 row, 2 columns. I will create a div. Let's make it 2 divs. First one is yes. So in the first one we have one anchor tag and some text. I will do it also in divs. One anchor tag, and then what is it called? And money, and then there's here and URL. Something like that. Okay. and it can be a bit longer maybe. Second one also the same, but this so currently we have a block here, and then inside this block two blocks, and then inside this first block 2 blocks. But what did I do is wrong basically, because I did everything inside the main block, view block. So I should have another one that will be our first, say, we can call it like text, or for now to just show you, identify it. Well, I don't know what we can write, but this is basically these two elements, and then we will have another div for the image. Let's first put the image, then and it's Python, right? No, let's sign. Okay, we are missing one image, so I will just crop it. Or I think this is not, we are not missing an image. This can be like text, probably. I'm not sure, but let's try to make it the text. Then it will be easier, probably. Let's say p tag, and then inside p tag, let's get value for sign up, get for here signing. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, we have this weird thing here. So I will use flex first of all to make these two divs on the same line. Display. Oh, that's style, sorry. Display flex. Let's see. Okay, now we have this. And then this guy here should be in a second. Let me check this. Okay, this p tag, or well, we can actually make it div instead of p tag. So what we can do is to give this background something like that, or say light blue. Okay, nice. And then border radius, pixel, maybe more. Well, padding, so 15, but still this should be some. Now we have a kind of problem, because in border radius it's not kind of possible to do this like that, so I think it should be an image, because in border radius the shape is, I don't think you can get the shape. But anyways, you can crop the picture for your assignment and do it with picture, but for me I will try to do it okay, I will try to do this again. Background is blue, and then border radius 1 pixel, or 1 pixel, padding 1 pixel. So this is also, I think, good enough. And then of course text align center, so something like that. And for this, as you can see, we have some space, so we can say margin out, margin top. Auto is not gonna work, but we do 20 pixel. Yeah, looks like good. Maybe we can also do this vertical align stuff. I'm not sure if it's gonna work or not. No, not okay. Anyways, so I will copy this for sign up class, sign up element, then sign up. As you can see, it's better to, it's really easier to work on Chrome and then copy the CSS rules. For this part, I think we are less more done. There is small things to add, like padding and etc. For the rest, I think we are less more done today, but for the rest you can copy the same logic that we did here, but also for the small things, like for example like this, so you don't have to worry about that much. Of course, it's if you can do the best, then it's always better, but well, don't spend a lot of time on this simple stuff, simple details that makes no sense, basically. I will delete this. So we have something like that in the end. For alignment, you can use list like I did here, or use a normal div like here, or you can even use, for example, I checked once, like Facebook, how do they, well, I need now login page, so incognito. So in Facebook, for example, I was when I had the assignment, I just went there and checked how did they do it, and it was tables. You can see here. So one table, and inside one table, one row, and in this row you can see email, phone, and password. In the second row, all the things, inputs, and the third row, forget account, and then they have here like probably text align and etc. So when you have an assignment or even if you don't have an assignment, this inspector is your best friend. You can go and learn how people works. For example, look, there is a main div. You can just go, you see there is a two divs again, which contains some data, and what did they use is basically you can see, let's just a second. I'm wondering, did they use Flex or not? But Facebook is, since old, probably they didn't. Yeah, they used width and margin, so it's always, as you can see, it's not responsive, which is shame for Facebook, such a big. But even if you go to our website, NL, and if you do this, everything is responsive, so it becomes, maybe Facebook is not a good example, I don't know. But in the end, you will first you will write the web page, your web page, or our one, the one that we did. It's not responsive at all. It's like it's like a Facebook's page, but when you start working with Bootstrap, you will have this kind of website structure, responsive structure for free. So don't worry about that for now, but for the responsivity for now. But there is a lot of things to learn on HTML CSS. I think you already saw the assignments. So we try to do this one together. I think the Google part should be way easier to everyone. And the last one is Facebook. This is bonus assignment. It's up to you, but I would do this one also because it's good to put on your even GitHub account, on your portfolio. It's a good assignment, and also the things that you will use here in this page, you will need them also in the following weeks, so it's not waste of time at all. I would do that one also. And on Wednesday you will be with Semi. You're supposed to finish all the assignments and all the lessons till Wednesday. So you have 3 days, and then if you have any problem, you can always write on the questions channel. If you don't have anything to say, any question, we can close the session. Anything?
Chatting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I will send
Thank you
also
so much.
the inline style problem. I will try to fix it and send you guys.
Okay.
Okay then. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice day.
Bye.